Hello, friends and loved ones and readers and everybody else who is watching this video. This is Reena Kapoor, and I write a Substack which is called Arrivals and Departures. You can find it at arrivalsanddepartures.substack.com. Arrivals and Departures is fully spelled out. And I'm here today trying out something new for my Substack video, a new modality for me. I typically just write words, but I'm back here again trying something new. And I am actually going back to the beginning of my Substack, which was over 3 years ago. I think I made my first post in early 2021. One of the very first posts I made was a poem that I wrote, which is a grief poem. It was written after the passing of my father. And writing has been an immense, immense help to me as I've processed the grief of losing my parents one after the other. In any case, I want to share with you this early post for several reasons. One, I've had the fortune of gaining many more new subscribers since I first started out my Substack. In fact, if I go and look at some of my earlier posts, very few people read them, and I would like a way to offer some of those old posts to all of my new subscribers, and I'd like to do it in this new modality, as well as remind some of my existing subscribers who have been with me since the beginning of this journey about some of those older posts. I also wanted to try video because, it's 2024. So here goes. Let me read to you a couple of short passages about this poem before I actually get into the poem and recite it. This is a poem about trying to process grief when you lose a parent. For some of us, we've been lucky, have had good relationships. But for some of us, death of a parent brings about all sorts of issues and contradictions and grief mixed in with many other emotions. So this is for all of us, however, whatever our struggle may be. Here are the passages I would like to read for you first. The thing is, when parents pass, it is the end of an era, a period, not a comma, at which point all our conversations are halted. All is done, and further explanations, clarifications, corrections, scoldings, forgiveness, demands, or apologies are not possible. We have what we have. The few of us who are lucky by a simple accident of birth are able to find peace in the realization of the unconditional gifts our parents gave us, the end of their suffering, and the memory of good times. But for the rest who sought or hoped for better answers from parents, they must make their peace with this grief's incompleteness, and that there may never be a satisfying answer or closure coming from the parent, no matter how well deserved. That elusive peace will have to be hunted down and integrated within, but without any help from the parent, who has left in a final relief from any debts they owe us. Now the baton is truly passed, and we must find our own way. Why? Why bother? Because we can. Because we owe that happiness and release to ourselves. Because if that is too hard, then we have to remember that we owe that peace to those who have a rightful expectation of our presence, our other loved ones. Even as I sat vigil for my father, I wrote these lines, but they are as much for me as for anyone who loses a parent and struggles for closure. Sometimes we have to hardwire our own peace, if only for those who love us, who are still around and need us to show up. I don't know how it's done, but I hope this poem is for all those who struggle with this, as the death of a parent leaves more than mere physical destruction in its wake. Here is the poem, and it's called Cycles. Cycles. Death brings fluids, bears bodily distractions, gummed on a frail skin, uncontrolled, stench-filled, raucous. Who can cleanse accumulations of a lifetime, suppurations of grievances so old, so many unforgiven hurts, grudges, mistrusts? The body fights for breath. The living hold breaths to fight. Let explode our questions various as the procession to a final peace walks on by. Those looking on can hardly swallow, bristle, struggle, and demand answers against this quiet. But there is only a silence, a deafening silence, where we scratch the surface so our fingers bleed, desperate for answers we will never have. No one owes us those, they'll simply pass. We stand left behind to rebuild a brokered peace or fester with what we won't step away from. The crematory pyre will burn a hole, letting bleed away all possible meaning in this too short a life, or choose to let it calm our hearts as it extinguishes it all. I hope you like that. I hope to hear from you, and I hope it helped in some way or the other. Please let me know. I'll look for your comments and your thoughts. Thank you so much.